Hi guys, Beard Read Book here, and today's review is on The Hobbit, and I'm also doing it somewhere completely different to where I've done my last three reviews. My last reviews I've done at my home, but this one, as you can see, I'm not in my home. I'm actually sitting in the old Trip to Jerusalem, a lovely little pub in Nottingham. So quite a nice little place to do a book review on The Hobbit. Now, this is the first book that I ever actually read all the way through, and I was probably about 8 or 9 at the time. Really loved it, and I read it every now and again all the way through, and yeah, still love it. Obviously in recent years, a few years back, they did the films, which films were pretty good in their own right. Had quite a lot of padding to them, a lot of stuff in them that aren't in the book. But like I said, interesting films. They're enjoyable. So I mean, you're going to compare them to the book. You're going to compare them to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So those films have got a lot to sort of live up to in a way. But anyway, this is a brilliant book. Yeah, I love it. Well, there was only one bit that I really struggled with, and that was the bit where like Bilbo and the Hobbit dwarves were going through the woods and they're getting attacked by the spiders and that. Right, now, for those of you that don't know what The Hobbit's all about, it's about Bilbo Baggins, a hobbit, and Gandalf the Wizard arranges for him to help 13 dwarves to reclaim their sort of mountain home from Smaug the dragon. Obviously, many decades beforehand, Smaug gets the dwarves like cave home and like captures it from them, and then eventually this story is all about Thorin Oakenshield and his band of dwarves and Bilbo Baggins, sort of the Hobbit. Like, it's about their adventure going over to the mountain and getting it back from Smaug. And like I said, the whole book is just an amazing series of little mini adventures. Like I was just saying a minute ago, there was only one bit that I sort of found I really struggled with. Excuse me a minute, guys. There was only one bit for me that sort of seemed to go really, really slow. When they're going through, I think, was it Mirkwood? Going through Mirkwood, and it's where they're being attacked by the spiders and all the rest. And that particular chapter just seemed to really drag, and it was really slow. And it's like, I was so glad to get that chapter over. But the rest of it is absolutely brilliant. And about when they meet up with Bjorn the shapeshifter and all the rest. Now, reading this book, having watched the films, made me realise just how much I really disliked the whole character of Azog in the films. I mean, he barely gets mentioned in the book. I think it's like a couple of lines mentioning Azog in the book on around about page 30 or something like that. But in the films, he gets a major big part. And like I said, it was only sort of rereading this book now, it just made me appreciate just how much I disliked that whole sort of storyline of Azog in the films. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings and you haven't read The Hobbit yet, definitely recommend doing it. It's about 350 pages. Now, this particular one that I've read, this is the 2006 paperback edition, which is based on the edition first published in 1995. So I think there's various different editions that have got various different changes to them. I'm not sure what all the changes are, but yeah, that's the one I've read. But guys, yeah, definitely, if you haven't read it yet and you're a fan of the Lord of the Rings, get your hands on this book. I mean, even if you're not a fan of the Lord of the Rings, I'd still recommend giving this book a try. It's a small book, so it's not thick and chunky like Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's a small book, it's pretty easy to get through, and yeah, I'd give it a thumbs up, definitely. If I bear with you, so that's the one I've just finished reading, and the next one that I'm about to start in a minute or two. So this is what I'm going to be doing my next book review on, Blade Runner. So guys, keep your eyes open for that one. I'm not too thick a book, so I should hopefully read that within a couple of weeks or so. So it's been a bit long reading through this one for various things happening, slowing me down and getting in the way of me reading it. So a bit of a delay doing this review. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be my next one, Blade Runner.